Today we're going to be splitting some hairs that are very important hairs to split. Just about everywhere in the self-help, self-development, psychology, and spiritual field, you're going to hear about the fear of success. It's all too common to hear people say, I think I'm just afraid of success. The thing is, nobody is actually afraid of success. And if we keep perpetuating this lie that it's possible to fear success specifically, we are going to fail to identify what it is that we're actually afraid of and actually resistant to, and as a result, we're not going to make any headway towards our desires. To succeed is to accomplish an aim or a purpose. It is to achieve what you want. No one is actually afraid of achieving what they want. What they are afraid of is that some unwanted thing is going to piggyback on whatever they want, and there's an association that they have formed between that unwanted thing and the thing that they want. What this all adds up to is that in order to avoid that unwanted thing, you are going to do everything to not take those necessary steps towards your success. Let's imagine that you love trees and you really want to go sit under one. But you have an association between trees and snakes, and you happen to be completely terrified of snakes. Snakes are the unwanted thing. You would resist going and sitting under the tree. It would be ridiculous for someone to turn to you and say, I think you're just afraid of trees. Not only that, it could send you on a wild goose chase, right? Because if you were like, yeah, maybe that's my problem. Maybe down deep I'm afraid of trees. You're not going to be able to solve your actual problem because your problem isn't about trees. We would solve the problem of the fear of trees in a completely different way than we would solve the problem of the fear of snakes. Why would we solve these problems differently? Because they're completely different problems. There are a great many things that people may actually be afraid of when they say that they're afraid of success. To give you an idea of what I mean, I'm going to give you just a few examples. The first example is a person may say they're afraid of success when what they're really afraid of is that they don't have what it takes to maintain that success once they have it. And so they feel as if that inability to maintain that success is going to make them suffer and make the people in their lives suffer. So the real fear here is that we don't have what it takes to keep our success instead of lose it. 2, the terror of how people are going to react to our triumph. So the real fear here is the fear of negative reaction on behalf of others. 3, the fear that success will garner unwanted attention. A lot of people are terrified of attention, so the real fear here is attention. 4, the fear that we may lose connection with somebody we care about as a result of us succeeding or getting what we want. So the real fear here is the loss of connection. 5, the fear of being seen and opening ourselves to scrutiny. So the real fear here is the vulnerability regarding negative public opinion. 6, the fear that we're going to lose something as a result of getting what we want, some cherished thing. Maybe it's a way of being, maybe it's a place we live. Whatever it is, we feel like getting what we want is going to make it so we lose that thing. So again, the real fear here is the loss of something precious. 7, potentially we fear the loss of belonging that we have with people that we love as a result of us getting what we want or succeeding in some way. We may even fear ostracization by them as a result of getting what we want. So really, the genuine fear here is the fear of social separation. 8, the fear that success will cause others to use us and take what is ours regardless of the impact on us. So the real fear here is parasitic dynamics in relationship. 9, the fear that if we succeed, people's expectations of us will increase. So really, this is the fear of pressure and also the fear of letting other people down or disappointing them. You get what I mean now, right? So that you can understand this dynamic, I've got an example for you. Our example begins with Nolan. Nolan is on a partial scholarship at college for baseball. Nolan is in fact the very best player on his team. He's so good, in fact, that he definitely could turn pro. But when he had the chance to go professional, he chose to be practical and go to college instead. He also chose a college where he could guarantee that he would be the best player on a worse team. Quite frankly, this behavior and these choices are driving Nolan's coach and teammates absolutely nuts. They're also driving his girlfriend completely nuts. His coach has often told him, "I think you're really just afraid of success." But that's not what's really going on. Shall we see what's really going on? Nolan's sister was born with a severe mental disability, severe enough that Nolan's entire family revolves around her and her needs. It is something that caused Nolan a lot of pain. But Nolan was taught that the right way to feel towards his sister was pity, and the right thing to do for his sister was to sacrifice himself for her well-being. When he played with her, he was always encouraged to do worse so that she could feel better and more confident about herself. Nolan learned that this was not only the only way to be a good person, it was also the right way to love his sister. He feels like becoming a professional sports star is unfair to her. He feels like he would be leaving her in the gutter to this life that's painful that she was born into, while he goes and lives his best life. Essentially, he's afraid that he would be leaving her in the dust. As a result of this, he feels like he would be increasing her suffering, and like he would be an absolutely evil person. Nolan is not afraid of success. He's afraid of hurting his sister, and by virtue of doing so, being an incredibly bad person, who not only loses connection with his sister because of this, but also the rest of his family. What is he doing as a result? He is sabotaging his own success so as to avoid that unwanted experience. If Nolan here got hooked on the idea that what he fears is success, he might attend seminars where he's encouraged to visualize what he wants happening on a daily basis. He might read books about how to conquer the self-defeating thoughts that tell you that you're not good enough. And the thing is none of this would work, because that's not the actual problem. In order to succeed and progress, Nolan has to face the actual problem, which is his early experiences with his sister and his family, and the beliefs he has adopted from those experiences regarding what he must do to maintain closeness with them and to be a good person in general. If we keep perpetuating this lie that it is possible to fear success, we will keep making success the smokescreen or the scapegoat that prevents us from seeing what it is that we are genuinely afraid of and genuinely resistant to, i.e. the real problem. If we seem to be sabotaging our own success, we're only going to get somewhere if we're brave enough to really see what unwanted thing it is specifically that we think is going to piggyback on with that thing that we are wanting. To do this, close your eyes and imagine achieving what you want. Let yourself play it out completely. See how that achievement changes or doesn't change each different section of your life and your relationship with each different person and thing and place in your life. See what your mind tells you is the reality of what will happen as a result of achieving what you want. Then answer this question. If I achieve what I want, what bad thing would it mean, or what bad thing would happen? Once you have that answer, the real work is about directly addressing that thing that you're afraid of or that unwanted thing, because that is the real problem, not the getting of what you do want. Have a good week. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and consider sharing this video with your friends. You can also click on the bell icon to be notified of the next time that I post a video. I want to thank you personally for the bravery that you have to step into awareness. I'll see you in the next video.